This is the Roz and Mocha Retro Show.
We are back with another edition of the Roz and Mocha Retro Podcast. I'm Shem. That's David Maury. That's Maria. This is where we dig back into the archives or the what, Maria?
Archives.
There we go, of the Roz and Mocha Podcast, revealing some of our favorite moments. Before we get to the clips, Maury, why don't you tell us what today's theme is?
Today's theme is people who have visited the show, celebrity-wise, like some cool, memorable interviews.
Okay. And from what year?
2014.
Okay. Maria, kick us off.
All right, so I actually had no idea that Mocha was such a big fan of Back to the Future.
Oh.
So in this clip, we actually get to hear that because Claudia Wells, who's known for her role as Jennifer Parker in the film, came into the studio and he was extremely excited. Take a listen.
All right.
Roz and Mocha Retro 2014.
You got the Roz and Mocha Show. Great Scott.
God.
She's here. The one and only Claudia Wells, a.k.a. Jennifer Parker, from the first Back to the Future. Good morning.
Good morning.
How
Thank you for having me. I'm great. How are you doing?
You look dynamite.
I do?
Yeah.
That's nice.
30 years next year for Back to the Future,
Isn't that
right?
amazing?
Does that freak you out a little bit?
No, it excites me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that means I get to travel all over the world all year.
How did this come to you? Like back in the day, with Back to the Future, how did you get involved? Did you fight for this? Did they come to you? At what point did you realize that you were going to be in this thing that would then become Back to the Future?
Okay. I auditioned and screen tested for Gremlins.
Really?
Movies,
Oh, wow.
and Young Sherlock Holmes. So it was down to me and one or two other girls for all three lead roles in those movies. So then when they called me in for the audition for Back to the Future, I walked in and I literally walked in and said, "Hi, it's me again." Because they hadn't cast me 3 times in a row in the last few months.
Yeah.
And it was Steven Spielberg and Bob Zemeckis and Bob Gale and the casting people, producers. And I had one audition with a guy who was on his 11th callback to play Marty.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I was there for about 2.5 hours. And Steven Spielberg kicked out the cameraman because he said, "I can't be with a camera and not be behind it."
Yeah.
And that was it.
That was it. Eric Stoltz was the original Marty McFly, right?
Right.
Did you shoot with him?
I did photographs with him. We did a photo session because
Isn't that weird? Because it's like Eric Stoltz. Like, could you imagine Mocha, as huge of a fan as you are of Back to the Future, if it was not Michael J. Fox?
No, absolutely not. At all. At all.
I still have a fan sent it to me. I don't know how they got it, but the picture of Eric and I, because at the time, I don't know if it stayed, but in this script, there was a photo of the two of us in his wallet.
Yeah.
And I still have that picture.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
And he used to call me Jennifer. He would call on the phone and call me. He's very, what do you call it? It's too early in the morning.
He's always in character?
Yes.
Okay,
That's
yes.
it. So he would call me Jennifer.
So one of the questions, and I'm sure you get asked this all the time, is you're in part 1, but then what happened with parts 2 and 3?
I do get asked that all the time. My mom got sick. She was really sick, and there was so much stress and stuff going on at home. I actually backed out.
Oh,
And they were
wow.
so nice. They really wanted me to do it. So it's not their fault.
Yeah.
It was on me. I backed out.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, I did. And
Did
the
you
part was supposed to be really big.
did you at any point regret that?
You know what? I didn't.
Because Elizabeth Shue came in and did the role, right?
She
yeah,
did.
yeah.
I never regretted it. It's just how life is. And I think had I done those 2 movies, I would have been really famous by now and then not had my great men's store, Armani Wells.
But you see what life is like, and you said you would be super famous and everything else. Is there a part that just wonders what that sort of, even to just have the option of what that would have been like? Would you have been able to handle it? Would you be, what would you be doing? Like I would second guess.
Question.
I would second guess every single day if I did that.
I try very hard not to have regrets or to second guess anything because I honestly believe that God works everything out together for good.
Right.
And I can make crumbs out of a cookie and he'll put it together and make it beautiful. So it all works out. And had I done the movies, I wouldn't have realized I have a business sense. I wouldn't have realized that I could be in charge of my life.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff I've learned that I wouldn't have learned had I just continued to act. And I still want to act.
Mocha is the biggest Back to the Future fan I think I've ever met. He's going to walk down the aisle after they get married to Power of Love.
Yeah, Power of Love is going to be the song that's going to be played at my wedding.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
That's
married in November.
awesome.
Yeah.
Is your fiance's name Jennifer?
Close, it's Jenna.
Jenna.
Well, that's very close. That's really close.
It makes sense, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was a couple who came into my store from, I think it was Ireland or somewhere. Yeah. His name was Marty, and he married someone named Jennifer.
No,
because they were
out.
such big fans.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
See, nerds find nerds, right? What's it like for you when you're traveling around like as you did over the weekend? You're at Comic-Con out in Niagara,
right?
And you're meeting fans of the movies,
right?
What do they want to talk to you about? What do they ask you?
What's it like working with Michael J. Fox?
Yeah.
What's it like kissing Michael J. Fox? Why weren't you in Back to the Future 2 and 3?
Yeah.
And then it's very funny because someone will say, you look exactly the same. And then someone else will say, you look entirely different.
Yeah.
But they're very, very sweet and kind and generous. They're just, Back to the Future fans are so fabulous.
Yeah.
I love all of them. They're just so sweet.
Was Crispin Glover as insane during those movies as he is now?
I went to high school with Crispin Glover.
Did you?
Was he a weird dude?
Okay. Well,
I've hung with him. I've hung with him. He's weird.
Okay.
He's sweet? Is that what you were going to say?
Real quick, by the way, Claudia Wells is here from the Back to the Future movie, one of my favorite movies of all time. She played Jennifer Parker. It's the Roz Mocha Show. So we're talking about Crispin Glover. Weird or not weird?
Unusual and different.
Okay.
We were in the drama department together.
No.
Yeah. and I remember he looks down at the ground a lot and kind of moves when he's talking. So I would be like trying to find where he's looking and why are we looking down at the ground? And I'd sort of move to try and catch up with him. He's an unusual dude.
Yeah.
Talented.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything negative.
All right, Claudia, before we wrap things up, so 30th anniversary of Back to the Future is next year. Can you tell us, are there any plans for a celebration? What's happening
There's going to be
year?
tons of plans.
Yeah.
And if everyone goes to ClaudiaWells.com, that's my fan site, and I update it weekly. All my event schedule, everything's on there.
Okay.
So anything going on with 2015 Back to the Future will be posted on there.
Nice.
Or we can call you at 555-4823.
Yeah, exactly.
Grandma's house.
Yeah.
Right?
And Mocha's wearing the cute hat from Back to the Future and a DeLorean t-shirt.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my style, baby. Claudia Wells, thank you very much for joining us on the
My
Roz Mocha Show.
pleasure.
I still have she travels around with a printout of that Save the Clock Tower advertisement that she writes "I love you" and then the fake phone number on. I still have that.
It. Of course you do. Of course you do. You have all.
Well, she signed it. She gave all of us. Why wouldn't I keep that? Yeah,
makes sense. Makes sense. I guess I will go next. I have had a massive crush. I am so disappointed that I wasn't on the show then in 2014 when Molly Ringwald stopped by. You know her from 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, which I love her the most for, Pretty in Pink as well.
Most recently, Kissing Booth.
The Kissing Booth. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
So she stopped by the Roz Mocha Show again. Incredibly jealous, but here is Molly Ringwald.
Roz and Mocha Retro 2014.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show. Sitting right across from us right now, we welcome to the Kiss 92.5 studios. Welcome to Toronto, the one and only Molly Ringwald.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay? You look a little. Is Mocha yelling too loud?
No, I just.
I'm naturally
Can you
loud,
turn it?
that's
I don't. I don't have any.
You want me to turn it up a little bit?
There you go. Yeah. That's great.
Okay. There we go. Headphones are working? Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. When did you got in yesterday?
I came in on the red eye.
Oof.
Yesterday.
Yeah, and doing a ton of press. You are at the Richmond Hill Center for the Performing Arts tomorrow night doing a show. You are a jazz singer, and can you play a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
Because you're legit. This isn't a celebrity sort of spur of the moment. I want to do singing now thing. You're legit, right?
Yes. Well,
sooner or later you're gonna be mine. Sooner or face it, I always get my man.
So good. That sounds like you're in a James Bond movie or something like that.
I feel like I should be in, like a smoky club or something.
Why? Why jazz? Why was that the path that you decided to go when really musically at the time with the talent you have, you could have done anything. You could have gone into any genre of music. Why jazz?
I think I just love jazz. I mean, I grew up with it, and it's what I sang when I was a kid, and I really love the Great American Songbook, and it's something that I just really. I mean, I always intended to do it sort of as a little bit of a side project because I still consider myself first and foremost an actress and a writer, but. Why not? There's plenty of other people that are doing other kinds of music. So I think it's important to keep this music alive.
And with this particular show, the one that you're performing at tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Richmond Hill Center for the Performing Arts, how long have you been doing this one particular show?
This show changes all of the time because, most of the songs that I sing are from the album, except sometimes, but... I try to keep things fresh because it's boring to do the same thing every night. So I do some songs from the album, but then we're constantly working on new songs, and it's just always different. Sort of keeping in that spirit of jazz.
Knowing what the world's like now, are you happy, or do you ever think about what it would have been like to be famous and young now, as opposed to famous and young when you hit? Are you happy that you didn't go through it when the world is like it is today? Yeah,
well, I don't think that I would have.
No?
I think that it's much harder to have any kind of private life now. The internet did not exist when I became famous. No. And, paparazzi did exist, but it wasn't...
You still had to call a girl's house during supper and talk to her dad.
I just don't think that it was as invasive, and, I just don't think that I would have done it.
No.
But, who knows? I really admire the people that manage to sort of do it now. I think you have to be really, really strong.
How old are your kids?
10 and 4 and 4.
If they were to come to you one day, even now, and say,
No.
Mom, we want to get into
No, that's the answer. Let me ask you, when you have a 4-year-old, the answer is no.
Yeah.
If they come to you and say, no, is the answer.
Or when they're 16 or 17 and they say,
No.
we want to get into entertainment. We want to be...
I tell my daughter, my 10-year-old daughter, the 4-year-olds don't have any idea what I do at all. The 10-year-old does. And I say, great, let's get you in an acting class. And then when the time comes after you graduate from college, then I will really support you if that's what you still want to do.
Have you prepared your speech, like what you're going to tell her at that time about what the world is really like now compared to...
She knows. I think we really do have discussions about it. Why when she says, "Mommy, why did you move to Paris? And why did you do this? And why did you do that?" And we have really frank discussions about the business, and I think she understands. I think that if she decides to do it as a grown-up, I think she'll do it with her eyes open.
Yeah. Are you cool with your sort of legacy? Are you okay with that? I mean, fans know you when you were the thing that people wanted to be. You were the best friend that people wanted to have. You were the girlfriend. You were the everything that people wanted.
You were my girlfriend.
You were Mocha's girlfriend for a long time. You didn't even know.
You didn't even know.
Are you okay with with carrying that with you now, with whatever else you're doing, whether it's singing? That will always be, you're always, going to be that girl in a beautiful way to a lot of us.
Well, I feel like, yes, I am okay. But even if I was not okay, I think... it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's part of who I am, and I just feel like it's better to embrace who you are and your past. And it's I think I consider myself really fortunate. I've had a really interesting life and career, and and I feel like I'm just halfway through. Really.
Dammit Maury, our producer, is arguably one of the worst singers in the world. He thinks he's fantastic. He's one of those people. He's one of these people that you hear him sing, and in his head he's going, "Nailed it." And the reality is very different. You, as a very accomplished singer and someone with a beautiful voice, will play you some classics that Maury has done over the years on this show, just to get your opinion.
Okay.
All right. What do you want to start with, Mocha?
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Okay.
classic song.
Okay.
I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day, and take me to the place I love. Take me all the way.
You're trying to get into it. The look on your face is amazing.
She can't catch the beat because there's no beat to catch when Maury sings.
You know? Okay, not so good. But up until then, there was some, he was on pitch.
What?
He was.
All right, how about Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine?
Okay, all right.
Like a child and we childhood memories.
Okay, that's a hard song. That's a hard song for anyone.
You don't have to defend him, Molly Ringwald. You really don't. Okay, I'm gonna play one more.
Okay.
This is Maury singing Madonna, Borderline.
Something in the way you love me, won't you set me free? I've got you, baby, let me because let me free.
Not so good. Not so up on the lyrics there.
With my heart, fill me with my start. Then you let the love come around. It's wanna hear my snow, baby. Let me know. Honey, won't you around? You know as a singer, lyrics are very hard to remember.
Lyrics are hard to remember.
Lyrics are, especially when you didn't write the lyrics. Lyrics are very hard to remember.
But he had a lot of passion. There, a lot of. You committed to it. Well, the first one. I think he's definitely a Chili Peppers fan.
Molly Ringwald, the Richmond Center for the Performing Arts tomorrow night. You are wonderful. Before you go, your dad, you used to sing with your dad,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Still do, I imagine. I don't.
From time to time.
When music was his thing, and then you got famous with acting, did you see in him, when you took up singing and started touring and doing shows, a little bit more pride than maybe what he would have been with your acting? Because you sort of, you nailed that.
My parents are so proud of whatever I do. I really have the most supportive parents in the world. But yeah, I do think that the music, I think they were, they weren't pushy about it, but I think they were really hoping that I would come back to the music one day. So yeah, he's pretty psyched.
You are amazing, and it's good to see you again. Thank you so much for coming in. Something in my heart. It's impossible to sing like Maury. Tomorrow night, the Richmond Center for the Performing Arts. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Maury, can we get her back, please? I don't care what she's promoting. Can we just get her back in the studio?
Yes, let's book a flight.
Fair enough. All right, go ahead, Maury.
Okay, so it's not all about the rom-coms or the cult classic films, but sometimes, I guess the cult classic as well, but the horror franchise. And this was cool because he embraces the character that he plays. Not everybody does that. And when we had Robert Englund in studio,
oh my God.
Right?
Oh my God, that must have been
Freddy Krueger.
Terrifying. Here we go.
I'm going to try my best not to freak out right now, dude.
Right on.
Because he's here. He's sitting right across from me, right next to Roz, part of one of the biggest horror franchises in history. The bastard son of 100 maniacs, Toronto. Please welcome the great Robert Englund, a.k.a. Freddy Krueger. Good morning.
You're all my children now, Mocha.
You are the man. You have a lot of guys in your position who, built such an iconic character. They go through a run in their career where they shy away from it. They ignore the importance of that on their career. They don't want to talk about it. They ignore the fans. You are one of the rare ones. From the first time I saw an interview with you talking about Freddy Krueger, you've been such a fan of what that has done for you, what it meant to fans, what it meant to film, everything.
Well, I was lucky. I'd done, I think, a dozen movies before Freddy, and a hit TV series, V. So I was established out in Hollywood. And when it happened for me, the double happy accident was that it was also an international hit.
Yeah, and
it opened doors for me to work abroad as well as in the States and North America. And I just kind of went with the flow. I embraced it, And I remember after Nightmare on Elm Street Part 7, Wes Craven's new Nightmare, I remember I didn't really, fight it, but I did other things. I did some Disney stuff. I did a Disney movie with the late Paul Walker and some, I did some more family-oriented films just to kind of get that back out there again.
Yeah.
But the fans have been so loyal to me that I try to do a genre film at least once a year.
Are you still making money off of Freddy Krueger in terms of merchandising?
Well, I get residuals.
Oh, you do?
I don't know. The merchandising, I think they owe me something because I think an action figure comes out every week.
Yeah.
There's some that look like me now, and there's a new one where I'm exposing the chest of souls.
Is that something back then? Obviously, you didn't think about it going into making the movie, right? In terms of what's going to happen after this movie comes out. Okay, they may sell some T-shirts, they may sell the glove, they may sell the costume, they may sell the mask, but that is all like your image. Did you have to fight to...
No, I was so busy and I was so preoccupied with some minor celebrity I had then from my TV series V.
V was great, by the way.
And television is really lucrative.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really worried about contracts on the first couple. I think I didn't negotiate smart until around the third one.
Right.
And I got a little piece of the merchandising. But you're not thinking about that. We just were glad to finish the first one. We ran out of money making the first Nightmare movie, and we had to give our video rights to an English company, which they eventually bought back because they realized it was this huge franchise, international franchise. But back then, I just wasn't thinking about that. We didn't know that it was going to be this iconic thing. I thought I was going to be kind of like a road company Dr. Spock on V for the rest of my life.
Right.
But that show was so expensive. The network took it off the air.
Which Freddy did you like best? Because the Freddy in the first movie was this insane revenge-driven maniac. But then they kind of gave you a sense of humor and kind of, like he sort of evolved in an almost, I don't want to say cute way, but in a more human way.
Well, he always had this sense of humor. I mean, in the original, he cuts his fingers off and cracks wise, and he eviscerates Tina and puts her face on and does an imitation of her, and he sticks his tongue out of the phone.
Yeah, I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
I'm your boyfriend now. Biatch. Anyway, but the fans love that stuff, and that was there, and so we knew that the fans loved that, because of the fan mail and the fan reaction, and so they just exploited that in the further ones. I like my acting in part 4. The best.
Is that Dream Child?
No, that's
that's
Freddy's
part 5.
Revenge.
Right, part 5 is Dream Child.
And that's the Rennie Harlan one, the Die Hard director one. And then I think the fans like 3 the best.
Yes.
Dream Warriors. Yeah. And my favorite, though, is to watch, because you can still find little hidden Easter eggs in it, is part 7. Oh, there's a Dokken fan. No, but the part 7, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, because it's the first deconstructed horror movie, unless you count Sam Raimi. Yeah. And it's really, we made it for the fans. It's really smart, and you can watch it over and over again and find new stuff.
And speaking of your fans, Fan Expo is this weekend. You are there today, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Fan Expo, so people can come down and see you there.
A lot of great people too. Bruce Campbell's going to be there. The great John Saxon, who is in the Nightmare movies with me, and Heather Langenkamp, who is Nancy.
Yes,
my girlfriend, and lots of other great people. Yeah, it's going to be terrific this year.
I'm going through this. Well, I don't know when this article was from, but you were talking about a movie, and this may be the greatest title for a movie I've ever seen. Did you do a movie called Strippers versus Werewolves?
I did do a movie called Strippers versus Werewolves. Yes. I'm an old whore, but I'm a good whore. No.
When was this?
Well, no, I'll do anything in London. And actually, it was a chance to work with this great actress that I'd worked with on V, Sarah Douglas, who's also in the original Superman.
Yeah.
She's the big, tall alien girl, and she's a lot of fun. Yeah, she's a great gal. She's in a notorious cult film called The Lair of the White Worm by Ken Russell, which was a really big hip thing to see in the 70s, in the glam period. And it was a chance to work with Sarah, but they kind of fibbed to me on the budget because I got over there and I was more than just a cameo is about all I was in it. I was sort of the werewolf in jail. What they did, there were supposed to be all these great scenes of the gang walking around London, noshing, and going to coffee bars and stuff. And the gang, they were all supposed to be in werewolf makeup.
Right.
But they didn't have enough money, so they didn't really put them all in werewolf makeup. It's sort of like, well, the moon's not full enough, I guess,
So they're just like normal folks walking.
They look pretty normal. Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of transformations, but yeah, you could see that. You could see the low budget there. Yeah. So thank you for bringing that up.
I'm so sorry. I just see these titles.
It's like,
I'm just so
7:30 in the morning. No, I just premiered a terrific movie called The Last Showing, and you guys are going to love these people in it. The girl that's on the new 24 who got the bad little terrorist daughter who got her fingers lopped off.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful actress, Emily Barrington, and Finn Jones from the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And I'm the old projectionist who gets laid off at the mall cinema, and I have my revenge.
Of course.
Nice. Movie. And it's really good. I mean, this director was on this reality show with Steven Spielberg and became kind of his protege, Phil Hawkins, and he's just amazing. And I'm all my fans, trust me, The Last Showing will be coming out later this year. Check it out. Yeah.
Well, we're coming up on 30 years, right? For Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh my God, make me feel old. Strippers versus werewolves, and now we're gonna flog my bald spot.
Let's make you feel young again.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
The great Robert Englund, aka Freddy Krueger. Dudes, thank you so much for joining us on the Roz Mocha
thanks
Show,
for
man.
having
We
me, guys.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, I have to know, like, did you, when he walked into the studio, did you just see the Freddy Krueger character, or did you see the man?
Great question. I saw the Freddy Krueger character.
Yeah, I'd be terrified.
Yeah.
Maria, have you seen any of the Freddy Krueger movies?
No.
What?
I've actually never seen A Nightmare on Elm Street before. But I'm also like not
I think
a great.
Shen's doing an impression there.
No, I'm dying slowly inside. What? Never?
Yeah, no, I've never seen them. I will. Maybe I will this Halloween.
All right. You're missing out. You're missing out.
Does it hold up?
No, you're right. Like, special effects are probably all over the place.
No, but I'm okay with like old film horror. Like I like that stuff. I'm just not someone who like always reaches for the horror film because I get scared easily. So.
Okay, fair enough. You can.
Yeah.
I am
reality.
obsessed.
Yeah, I am with you. I actually love gore more than I like horror movies.
You're a fan
like
of Saw. Oh,
the Saw movies are my
kidding
favorite.
me? Saw is the best of all time.
Maury, I don't know. I don't think Maury still. Yeah, Maury, do you still have what's his face?
Tobin Bell.
Tobin Bell on your answer machine?
I think so.
Yeah. Terrifying. Well, there you go.
Let's play a game.
So scary. I love it. There you go. That's another edition of the Roz Mocha Retro Podcast. If you have a theme that you'd like for us to talk about, hey, hit us up. Let us know. And we'll be back next week. Peace.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10
on Kiss 92.5.
KISS925.com.
Or download the Seeker app.